Flash flooding for the southern plains and eastern Rockies, but we also have severe weather for both these locations. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. Today is August 28th, 2025. So unfortunately, continuing this trend that we've had all the week, the Weather Prediction Center has issued a slight risk for the southern plains to the southern Mississippi Valley and also the eastern Rockies with a slight risk for flash flooding. But on top of that, we do have a slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center that there's going to be severe weather specifically for the southern plains and also a marginal risk for the eastern Rockies. For the southern plains specifically, we have a 2% chance to see an isolated tornado, large hail, and also high wind gusts. And then for the eastern Rockies, we only have a marginal chance to see both the wind gusts and the hail. Okay, so time frames of when this is all going to happen. Unfortunately for the southern plains, you guys are going to still see that long band of heavy precipitation pretty much all day. And we're going to see more intense storms around 19Z, or that's 2 p.m. Central Time. And this band of heavy precipitation is going to last all evening, all night, and even into tomorrow. So in some places, we could see rainfall totals in the next 24 hours up to 6 inches or greater. And then for the eastern Rockies, but also for the northern Rockies too, around 19Z, and that's 1 p.m. Mountain Time. And these places are going to see more isolated storms. And then for the eastern Great Lakes, we're going to see something around 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And these are mainly going to be just showers and maybe some thunderstorms as well. Okay, so why this is all happening? If we look at 500 millibars or midway through the troposphere, we still have that really broad trough that's going from Ontario all the way to the southern plains. But embedded with that, we do have a shortwave trough. And with this shortwave trough, we're going to have a little bit of curvature, which is going to make the wind barbs spin more cyclonically or counterclockwise. And that's going to give us a vorticity maximum right here, which is spinning those updrafts and promoting a lot of upward motion. And along with that, we do have some pretty decent shear, which is going to tilt those updrafts and then help prolong those storms. And if we look at the southwest, we still have this ridge, and it's pulling in remnants of Tropical Storm Juliet from the Pacific into Southern California, which is why we're seeing some showers over there. And this plume of extra moisture may be significant for places like Colorado, New Mexico by tomorrow as it travels through this ridge. And looking at Washington State, we still have that little bit of low pressure that we saw yesterday, and it's pulling in remnants of that mid-level moisture, which is why today we're having a little bit of a fire risk of isolated dry thunderstorms where lightning may pose a risk. Okay, so back inland and then to the southern plains and see why this is all happening. We have a low pressure somewhere around the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle, and that's counterclockwise flow, and it's bringing in southwesterly winds, bringing in that tropical moisture into these areas. And because we're seeing a lot of convection and lots of cloud cover in the past few days in this area, we're going to have a pool of cool air. And now with the collision of the cool air and the warm air, it's going to reinforce that boundary layer, which is going to help promote surface lift. And like I said, low pressures are counterclockwise flow. So if we look north of this low, we have easterly winds going into Colorado. And because the terrain gets higher as you go west, it's going to provide orographic lift. And then for the eastern Great Lakes, we kind of have the similar story, but a much lesser degree, where we have a low pressure bringing southwesterly winds into a cold front. And that's why we have